everyone is building AI agents, but let me ask you, how many of them are actually making money? See, 99% of the people have really cool working demos, but zero clients. You know why? Because they do not know how to price their agents or price the service. So today I'll show you the 3-step pricing framework that helped me turn my agent demo into a 5000 MRR service. And stay till the end because I'm going to give you all my templates, all my SLA workflows and negotiation scripts inside my free school community. A small note for the video, I realized that this video is getting too long, so I divided it into 5 parts. So in this mini series, I will teach you how to price your services in the right way. See, here's the harsh truth. Nobody pays for demos. Client doesn't care if you're using ChatGPT 4 or you're using 10 lines of prompt in that agent. Only thing that they care about is whether or not is this agent making them more money, saving them more time, or doing both. Most people mess up here by either pricing by gut feeling like, $49 looks great, let's price it that way. That doesn't work. Or sell features instead of outcome, or worse, they give free pilot projects without any conversion path. And the result, you get compliments but zero cash. Okay, so let's break this down into 5 real pricing models, and every successful AI agent business fits into one of these buckets. So the number 1 is subscription based, the number 2 is usage based, the number 3 is outcome based, number 4 is one time plus maintenance, and the number 5 is licensing or white labeling your service to other agencies and other service providers. Now I'll go into detail in a bit more in the later part of this video. For now, this is an overview of the 5 buckets that we are going to talk about in the next part. So the number 1 is subscription, that is like a Netflix for your agent. It will have a fixed monthly fee or MRR, and it's like a predictable revenue. But again, it has a big churn risk if your value is not shown to the customer or the customer doesn't find a great value in your service and the offer that you're giving. The next is usage-based pricing. It could be like pay per unit, pay per lead, pay per API call. Okay, see, this is super fair, but again, it should align with the usage, and your revenue can swing a lot because sometimes it can have a 200 ticket or 200 API calls, so you get a big revenue. Again, sometimes it can have 20 revenue calls, so your revenue goes down. So it's a bit up and down, up and down. The next is outcome-based pricing, and this could be pay for result, it could be pay for lead, it could be pay per sale. And this has high conversion because generally client finds it very sexy because it is very low risk for them. Okay, they only pay when they get result or value or ROI. But again, this is very tricky for you because clients can also say that they close the deal without you. So you need to have a very strong attribution for this to work. The next is one-time fee and maintenance. So it's like a consulting setup or an AI agent setup where you consult them, you charge a one-time setup fee for making that agent and a maintenance fee for ongoing maintenance like a bug support or a little bit of new features add-on and like a bug fixes and optimization. So like it's like that. Okay, so it's like an ongoing setup fee. So you get an upfront cash flow, that is good, but again that is less recurring. Okay, so you let's say start off with a client that pays you $500, but again the maintenance fee is around $100. The next we have is the licensing or the white label or resell model. It's very much good, but again you need to let agencies rebrand your services and sell upfront. It is good, it has more potential for scaling because if you partner with big agencies, they can give you big amount of revenue as well. This will also mean that you have less control of what you build, so they can also say that you have to apply in accordance with the like laws and the protocols and all, so it might reduce the creativity and the service quality as well. Okay, now moving on to the section 1. So there are 5 sections in total. So the section 1 is the detailed pros and cons for each model. The section 2 is the decision framework. So it will help you decide which one framework or which pricing model or bucket you should do it for yourself. And by the end of the video, you will be 100% clear of which pricing model you need to choose for your framework or service or agency or model. And by the way, I teach all of this into my free school community, so do check that out. And the first 100 members will get a lifetime free subscription to my community. And by the way, after the first 100, we'll make it a paid community and private only. So do check that out as well. Okay, moving on, we have the section 3, that is concrete pricing examples and formulas. So again, after this we have the section 4, that is testing pricing list. and how to do pilots and experimentations. And the fifth one is the sales process and the call flow. How should you do the call and how to close them? And last but not the least, you have risk management, SLA, and contract essentials. How to build contract, how to do list management and everything. So that I'm teaching it here as well. This is a very long video, and this is the only video you need to watch to understand what pricing or framework you need to apply for your business. And if you watch this video, I can promise you that there is no other video that you need to watch or any other YouTube video to understand the pricing framework. Okay, let's move on to the section 1, that is the subscription model or fixed monthly MRR. This is very simple. It's like a fixed monthly fee for access to your agents plus an ongoing maintenance to support your bug fixes or any other optimization that you need to do in the future progresses. And you can use this for building recurring and predictable value for your clients, or you can also use this if you reduce ongoing labor for your clients, or you can also use this if you bring consistent outcome for your clients. It's like it could be consistent revenue, it could be consistent leads, it could be consistent pipeline, whatever it is. And you can also use this if you have fuzzy attribution for your system. Now, talking about the pros and cons, it has a little bit better predictable revenue and it's easier to sell. It gives easier cash flow and planning. It has a lower friction to sell. It is good for retention. It scales without linear effort because once you made an agent, you can also sell it 1,000 times just by tweaking the name a little bit here and there. So that's a big plus point if you do this. So once you build an agent for let's say 1x the effort, you can sell 3 times by just doing 1.5x the effort. You don't have to do it 3 times. You can just build it once and sell it thrice and as number of times as you can. Talking about the cons, you have a very big churn risk if the value is unclear. It also should cover the maintenance cost apart from your service fee. And if your service fee doesn't include your maintenance cost, if your service cost doesn't include maintenance cost, the client is more likely to be churned in the next upcoming months. The last con is that the monthly value perception should be needed every month. Okay, so to understand this formula for the subscription call, right? The client only pays when you give them a unit of value. It could be either call, it could be either sales, it could be either leads, whatever. You get that point. You can use this when the value that you provide can be counted per unit. It could be call, it could be APIs, it could be services, or client prefers variable cost. Client doesn't want to get bogged up in a fixed cost. They can do this and it is easier for them to close. And also you have strong unit economics. If you don't know this, I can make a video for this. If you want this video, what is strong unit economics? If you want a detailed video on what is strong unit economics, you can give it in the comment section and I'll make a video for it. And also if you do not have a clear attribution, that's possible. Now for the pros, this cost aligns with the usage. It is also a lower upfront risk for the client, so you can close them very easily compared to the subscription based model. This is also pay as you go flexibility model, so client only pays when they get value. So again, it's a very easy way to close client if you're starting as a beginner. So this scales with the client's growth. So if you're very confident of your skills and if you are very confident that you can bring good amount of growth to your clients, you can definitely grow with them and you can close them at this point. And this is an easy ROI justification. You can say that, okay, I can give you 10 leads for $1 or 100 leads for $1. So that is easy justification of the value. Everything has its own pros and cons. For the cons, so for this model, your agency monthly revenue can fluctuate by a lot. Sometimes it can go a very extreme high or sometimes it can go at a very extreme low as well. and it must ensure that unit pricing covers cost. If you miss out on this, it can lead to high losses as well. So if you're a beginner and you do not know how to price and what is the cost, and if you never delivered a single service, I'll highly recommend you against this model. You can either go for subscription based, or you can also choose one of the other models as we continue further. Okay, this is also something that requires precise tracking. If you are not someone who can track sales, it could lead to losses as well. So that is not recommended here. And also the volume is very unpredictable. As I said, sometimes it can go very high, sometimes it can go very low. So it has to be depending on your execution skills. Okay, so now for the formula, what you can do is, let's suppose you give the client a lead that is possibly worth $100, and you say the client that you will charge $20 to give this lead, okay, and you give 50 leads a month, that is $1,000 in revenue, okay, and let's suppose 10 of them gets closed, so client is already at break even. So this is a realistically justification of the value that you can give to the client. Now we'll move on to the third one. So till now we have discussed the subscription based model and the usage based model. Now we are coming to the outcome based model, that is pay for result. Okay, this outcome is based on the result that you will be bringing to the clients. So you can use this when you can agree with your client on a certain result. Let's say 40% revenue increase, or 40% revenue conversions, or 2x conversions, something on that line. So you can charge based on the revenue or any result that you guarantee to the client on your service period that you are servicing the client. We'll come to the pricing and the formula in the later part. Now when you can use this? You can use this when the outcomes are measurable, and most importantly, if you are confident in your skill that you can definitely bring this result, then you can use this bucket very easily. And you also have a strong attribution that is possible, and you can also use this if you have good client trust on you. This is something where you can track your result for the client and you can show them at the end of the month or the end of the service period. This was before the result that we came in, and this was after we came in. This is the result increase. So this is what we promised and this is what we delivered. So this is what we had charged. Now talking about the pros and cons, this is high conversion potential because outcome based clients are more likely to convert because they are seeing an outcome, because you are selling them an outcome and not a product. Obviously product is the second part, but they are converting based on the outcome because they have a need and you are selling the outcome. So definitely they will be converting more easily. Now the risk is shifted to vendor. So if you're not providing the outcome, they can choose to not continue with you from the next month. So you have more likely less compared to the customer that is buying from you. You can also command premium because it depends on your expertise. If you can bring a great outcome, you can charge a lot, and significantly lot. I'm meaning significantly lot. You can charge $10,000, you can charge $25,000 because this is based on your expertise, this is based on your skills and aligns interest perfectly with the client. So if client has a demand or client has a problem, you can come in as a solution expert and say that, okay, you are not getting good sales, I can increase your sales by 10x and this is my charge. He doesn't care about what AI system or client agent, whatever you build. He only cares if you can bring the result that you have promised him before. And there are a lot of cons as well. So there is a lot of disputes that can occur. Client can say that I did not want this, I have more expectations. So that is one thing, that the expectation needs to be clear before you start with the client projects. The cash flow can be very volatile during this period. Sometimes the client can pay. Client can also say that I'll pay you 10% next time, 20% next time. Let's do 50-50. There's a lot of problems that can occur. So be very much sure that you take 100% advance for this. And there could be a higher legal complexity as well. Client can say that you scammed me. This is not what we expected. So keep in mind, this is very easy to sell as well as it is very complex in terms of legal nature. Client can also sue you for making losses or something, and this requires very much robust data collection. If you're not collecting data and showing them the result in CRM or any tracking metrics, they can easily say you that you have scammed us, give us the money return. So that will be a huge loss for you. And this is also a hectic measurement because you need to track each and every metrics that you need to show to the client. So in that terms, this is a very, very high risk for you as well. So for the structure, you can easily charge a small retainer per result fee, or also percentage of upside with baseline. What is upside with baseline? So let's say you have charged $500 for the setup fee, a $200 retainer from the next month, plus a $20 pre-qualified lead or 10% revenue split. So let's suppose you charge 500. This is the first month. The next month they will be paying 200 plus either $20 per lead or 10% revenue split. So if they're doing $1,000 in revenue from your side, so if they're doing $1,000 revenue from your services, they can again pay you $200. That is equal to $400. This can go high, this can go low, comparatively how much ROI you are bringing to the client and what are the conditions that you have agreed upon. The fourth bucket is one-time setup fee plus maintenance. This is similar to the outcome-based pricing. So coming on to the fourth bucket, we have the one-time setup fee and the maintenance cost. So this is similar to the outcome-based, but it's a little different because this is based on project basis and not on outcome basis. So what I mean by that is it could be something like build me an AI agent for this specific workflow, and you can charge based on the project that you're building. So you can charge based on the project that you're building, and I'll come to this later part for the pricing and the frameworks. It is simply a large set of fee to build or deploy the project that the client wants to build. It could be an app, it could be an agent, it could be a website, it could be a SaaS, blah blah blah, yada yada, you get the point. Now you can also charge an optional maintenance retainer for the client to maintain the project or to build the project or to fix the bugs or optimize. You get the point. You can use this if the integration that is needed in the client's project is very complex, or there is a large data migration required, or the clients want their own solution. This is also applicable in white label scenarios as well. You can also do that. Now for the pros and cons, the pros, we have large upfront cash flow because the project needs to be done in the 100% upfront payment, and this is good for high initial effort because you're getting paid for a high effort. The clients own the solution, so there is no headache of the IP rights and everything, so you give the ownership to them after the project completes. Less ongoing dependencies because the client is not dependent on you. They can choose to maintain from you, or they can also choose to maintain from some other vendors as well. You can also charge premium for setup depending on your expertise and the kind of quality of work or the quality of project that you can build for them. Now talking about the cons, you have less recurring revenue because a client can give you a project one time. It could take 3-4 months to build the project, and then you can again take the next project if you have less team. So for recurring revenue, this is not recommended from my side. For recurring revenue, you can either choose outcome based pricing or you can choose subscription based model. If you're a beginner, then you can also go with the usage based pricing. There is a big churn risk after setup. The client might say that we do not want maintenance, the project is done, you give the project, you take the money, that's it. The client could also expect improvement without paying you the maintenance fee. Sometimes the client is also unclear of what they need to build. They just come in the flow that they want to build something, but again they give you the money and they say that I'm not unclear what I want to build. There's a lot of scopability problems. The client agrees on something first and then the scope changes from their mind, and it could cause a really big problem in the later stages. So keep in mind that agree before what you've done and make sure to document it on an agreement paper and sign it from both the parties. Now for the pricing, you can have a project terms and conditions plus 20 to 30% buffer and an optional maintenance fee. So for example, you can charge let's say $15,000 for making the project, which will take you 80 hours to build. And if you have, depending on your high skill and hourly rate, you can charge $150 an hour plus 30% buffer. So if the projects take more 30% in the later stages to build, you can have some buffer. So it's like $19,500 again for $500 maintenance. So it's a very high potential and a high margin business, but again it comes with the pros and cons. Now moving on to the last part, that is the licensing or the white labeled. It's like the partner distribution. The more big agencies that you can partner with, the more revenue you can have. It is simply selling license to resell agents or white label softwares. You can use this when you want agencies to use this embedded, or you can make them sell your service in the front. You can also use this if you want your platforms to be integrated. You can also scale with your partners, or you can use this when you have a mature product ready. Now it comes with the pros and cons. For the pros, it can be easily scalable without a lot of effort. The partner that you partner with handles the sales and support, so you don't have to worry about the revenue and all. You can easily multiply revenue channels by partnering with multiple agencies, big agencies and big brands. You can also leverage existing relationships and make them your partners so that they can bring sales from you. You just have to do the deliverability part. This also gives you the ability to penetrate market faster. But it also comes with a lot of cons. You have less control over the customer. It also requires product maturity. You also have to manage your partner's overhead. You might also have to share your revenue based on the agencies or the brand that you have partnered. If they're too big than you, then maybe they will ask for your revenue share as well. You also have a risk that your brand can be diluted or they can be purchased from the other parties as well. You can either structure it per state licensing, you can also do revenue share deals, or you can do white licensing fees or white labeling fees. So suppose you have a SaaS which sells for $50 per person per month. You sell that to partner and the partner sells at $150 per seat per month. So I teach all of this and more in my free school community. Link is in the description. Share this video with your friends if you like this. Also subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And also the next video is dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. This is Anik Sanukar signing off for the day.